What's up, you guys? It's your girl Shay here, and I know it's been a long time. I haven't recorded a video in probably over a month at this point. But yeah, anyway, I have decided to record another reading vlog for you guys. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and usually I do a reading vlog of me reading some sort of manga, but this time I'm reading a webtoon. And the webtoon that I'm actually going to be reading is going to be sorry, I need to sync my Webtoon app linked up with my phone because I have the Webtoon app installed on my phone as well as the Webtoon app installed on my iPad. So the webtoon that I'm planning to read is going to be this one called, actually, let me just spin you guys around really quickly. It's going to be this one. Probably can't really see it very well. There you go. It's called R Omega Leadernim. So yeah, that is the one I'm going to be reading. So the reason why I decided to read this particular webtoon is because I had found it on TikTok, of all places. I do enjoy being on TikTok. For me, it's just a scroll worthy of a app for me. But anyway, I found it on TikTok because I don't know what I was looking for and it happened to pop up. And while on TikTok, this popped up, and basically someone was talking about that the author of this particular webtoon based a lot of their characters on the images of the BTS members. And if you guys do not know, I am a BTS fan. I am a part of ARMY. And so I was just like, well, let me check this out. And I really do like the Omegaverse kind of, not trope, but the Omegaverse pairings, tropes. I guess you could say it's a trope within fan fiction. So reading it in a webtoon, I was actually really excited about it. And it is a boy love Omegaverse webtoon. So if you are not someone who is into like boy love webtoons or mangas, then that's okay. For me, this is my first time actually reading like a boy love. No, it's not. My first one I ever read was Blue Flag. That was my first ever like kind of boy love of manga, and I actually really did like it. So this isn't my first time. I've also have read, fan fictions where it's both male on male pairings. So this isn't my first time. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out. So follow me as I read along to this. It looks like at this point it is on 119 chapters. And it looks like they're about to go into their last season. The last update was February 22nd of this year. So yeah, I'm going to start this off and we're going to go from there and letting me see how I like this and see how much I get done reading today. Maybe I'll read up to probably about, maybe give myself about 4 or 5 hours to see how much I read of this and then let you guys know what I think about it. All right. I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit and let you guys know how far I got and what I think of it so far. Maybe I'll do like a check-in every 10 to 20 chapters. I don't know. Depends on how long it takes me to read these, but see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I'm 21 chapters in. I just got started on chapter 21 and it's really good. I'm really excited for it to get to like more of the dramatic parts, but basically the main premise of this story is that the main character, whose name is, and their likeness is taken from V from BTS, but basically his name is Choi Jinsu, and the main character, he's the main character, and pretty much he is the leader or supposed to be the alpha of a pack. But in reality, he's actually an Omega, which Omegas, if you know anything about the Omegaverse, alphas are leaders, betas are like workers, and they basically don't have the animalistic instinct like alphas and Omegas, and Omegas are basically the ones that give birth to children. Jinsu is something very rare, which is a male Omega, since most Omegas are female, and pretty much he has a to-be mate whom is based off the likeness of JK from BTS. The author of this webtoon also goes on to explain that they were inspired by the looks of BTS, but they are not like making them into this webtoon, if that makes sense. But anyway, his name is Han Seungyo. probably saying that incorrectly. But anyway, Sungyu is younger than Jinsu, and he is still in high school. He's 17, about to be 18. And him and Jinsu basically think that they have been fated to be together since before birth. And basically, Sungyu is already supposed to be an alpha. They already know he's supposed to be an alpha based off of his body type and how he looks. He's basically going to be an alpha. But there's a lot of people wondering why Jinsu won't like scent Sungyu so that other alphas or basically other people out in their society don't try to mate him or don't try to be with him. But basically, Jinsu doesn't want to tell Sungyu that he's actually an Omega. So basically, another character whose likeness is inspired by Jin, his name is Choi Hyung-suk. So Hyung-suk basically is a doctor. So he basically tells Jinsu, hey, I can help you become an alpha with a whole bunch of like drugs, but he has to agree to be a part of his experiment. Jinsu obviously agrees because he doesn't want to be an Omega. He wants to be an alpha because he feels like, Omegas aren't respected in society while alphas are. So basically, he has him take these drugs, and there's another character whose name is Park Min-hyuk, who, of course, his likeness is taken from Jimin of BTS. So his look is inspired by Jimin. But basically, he also works with Hyung-suk, and basically, he's kind of like, trying to make sure that Jinsu doesn't find out, not Jinsu, Sungyu does not find out Jinsu's secret. So I've gotten to the part where Jinsu is basically going through his first ever heat, and Min-hyuk is trying to keep it a secret, but there's certain things that Jinsu is doing that Sungyu is kind of realizing that, or kind of confused about, like the fact that Jinsu made a nest and that there's moments where his scent is more sweet as opposed to like an alpha scent, that sort of a thing. So they're just trying to figure that out. But you also see the emotions that Sungyu is going through because he's like hearing other people, mostly one of his friends whose name is Kim Jaewon, who is taken after another like K-pop idol whose name is Mingyu from the group 17. So his look is inspired by him. But basically, he's basically saying like, are you sure that Jinsu actually cares about you and that he's not just looking after you like a father figure? And then you get the sensation, not the sensation, but the thought process that Sungyu has been kind of like abandoned by his family. He goes on to kind of say that he kind of has. And basically, Jinsu has kind of more so looked after him a lot. And so he's like, maybe you just confused that. So now Sungyu is kind of not for sure of Jinsu's feelings. But yeah, so it's starting to get really, really dramatic. And Min-hyuk made this comment or this thought about trusting, Hyung-suk and about like what he's doing. So it's really good. For it to be only 21 chapters in, like a lot of it has happened. The chapters are fairly short, so I thought probably couldn't get through this today, but overall I'm really liking it. I definitely recommend reading it, but I will say that it is on the mature side, like mature themes, mature images, kind of more on the adult side. So if you're someone that's very sensitive to that kind of thing and you would rather not read webtoons that are like that, then I don't recommend this. But as of right now, it's pretty tame, and I'm sure as it keeps going further, it is going to get a little bit more adult. I will say that there is some adult language, and there has been some hinting at adult or triggering themes, so be very, very careful of that. But overall, I'm enjoying it, and I'm so glad I came across that TikTok where somebody mentioned it in the comments. But yeah, gonna get back to reading, and I'll get back to you guys soon. Okay, so it's been quite a while since the last time I recorded. I think last time I recorded, it was 9:30. Now it is 1:54, so it's almost 2 o'clock. I'm not much further than I was earlier, only because I had some running around to do. I had to do some chores around the house, take out the trash, so on and so forth. Excuse me. Burp. I had to run a few errands. I had to get some stuff for my cats. They needed some filters for their water fountain thing. And then I also ran and got me something to eat. Got me some In-N-Out. So good. And after I finished eating, now I'm going back to reading. But from what I have read so far, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still liking it a lot more. As far as any issues I still have found none. I will say that there once again is a lot of triggers inside this actual story. As far as how the story is going, I like it. I have no complaints about it. I'm getting more and more into it as it goes on. I'm really liking the concept. I don't want any more drama, but I know that more drama is going to happen. But I've realized with a lot of these like webtoons, fanfics, mangas, anime, so on and so forth, a lot of stuff can be resolved with just communication, because between the two main characters, if they only communicated with each other, everything would be fine. If Jinsu would just have told the truth, it would be fine. Anyways, I'm liking this. Once I get to, I would say, chapter 50, I'll update you guys some more, because hopefully some more stuff has happened by then. But yeah, so far, still liking it. Gonna continue. I would show images of the actual webtoon, but I'm afraid of what might pop up. So I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, let's get back to reading.
In my veins, I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed, all the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say, I don't push pause, no I push.
Okay, apologies for the lighting. I don't have my blinds open because I didn't feel like opening them today. But right now it's 3:44. I forgot the last time that I updated. But oh my God, things are happening. And people are finding out other people's secrets. You're finding out that Dr. Choi is not as nice as like you thought he was. He's kind of manipulative in some aspects with how he's manipulating two of the characters, and it's making me want to like obviously continue on. There was one part that was super funny where Sungyu like got up on this table and like made like this kind of like love confession, but also he was drunk, but it's hilarious. I was sitting here kicking my feet up in the air and cackling and just laughing about it. It was really funny, but I'm loving it so much. One thing I will say that I do like, and this is one thing I do like about just overall like Omegaverse, whether it's fanfics or in this case a webtoon, is that the biology of how they talk about Omegaverse is always so different. So this one does have some similarities to like other fanfics I've read, where alphas are very high on society, betas are like in the middle, and then omegas, while they're cherished, are kind of looked down on and discriminated against, because they're only looked at as just giving birth and having kids. That's literally all that they're looked at for. But in this actual webtoon, they went so much deeper into it. Like they even went so far as to like break down the biology of the genetics of how someone's determined to be an alpha, a beta, and an omega, and how there's different subcategories within each one, like a true alpha, a sub alpha, a dom beta, and so on and so forth. The only one that doesn't have a subcategory that they made is an omega. And I just find this completely like really fascinating, because even in like most fanfics that I've read that are Omegaverse, they never go down into the genealogy of how someone presents as an alpha, beta, or omega. So this did a great way of doing that. I'm really liking it, and I can't believe I'm only 44 chapters in, and there's still so much more to go. But I just can't wait for like the main two characters to like hurry up and get together, but also see the drama that's gonna happen once Sungyu finds out that Jinsu is an omega. And like, yeah, it's just so good. So yeah, let me get back to reading this, and yeah, I'll update you guys soon once again. All right, it's now 6:30 6:05. My poor cats are waiting for me to feed them because I usually feed them at 6. But anyway, I got to chapter 56 and I am loving this. The fact that they're saying that a lot of the alphas have inner wolves is throwing me, and I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. The only thing I have to say though about overall this this webtoon so far from what I've read is that there are bits and pieces where the grammar is incorrect or the spelling does have some typos, but it doesn't really hinder me reading it. Sometimes I just have to read it like one more time to understand what I'm reading and make sure I'm getting it correct. And also besides that, sometimes the little insert chapters where they're explaining the like biochemistry of some of the characters and how it works kind of gets a little bit wordy, so I kind of skip or skim through those chapters. The only ones that I kind of pay more attention to though is when the characters are explaining the biology compared to it being an entire chapter where the author themselves is explaining it, if that makes sense. Look at my cat. He's looking at me like, bitch, if you don't feed me. Anyway, overall, I really do like this. Do I recommend reading it? Yes, I do. But once again, do, you know, remember the trigger warnings that are involved in this. It is more of a mature webtoon as well. So it's going to have, at least from what I can tell so far, there might be a little bit more of some spicier scenes involved. But there's a lot of mystery, a lot of drama. So highly recommend it. This is a great read for today. Again, I know there were chunks of time where I like did not and was not reading this, but that's all right. Overall, enjoy it. And I'll see you guys soon with another reading vlog. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully not a month long though. But yeah, I have other plans for more videos. For example, I bought a Kindle and I plan to talk about it because this has been my lifesaver, and I'll talk about what I use this Kindle for. Although if you've checked out my Twitter, you probably might know why. But anyway, that's my video for you today. I love you guys, and like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy in today's day and age, stay healthy, and of course, please stay safe. All right, you guys.